Hi, everybody. Nice to have you here. Why do you drink coffee? Well, normal people would say because it tastes good or it smells good. When you come in somewhere and it smells coffee, or it's a wonderful feeling. Some smarter people say, well, it's tradition. It's what we do. Everybody else drink it, so we drink it too. It's a social thing in our culture. So it's a cultural thing. And a little bit smarter say, well, actually, I'm addicted to it, and all the other three. So this is the normal answer, and it's what people think about when they think about coffee, good things. But none of them are true. They are true, of course, but it's not the reason. The reason is that big companies earn a lot of money on it. Because if they didn't, you can't buy it. It would not be anywhere. They want to sell it, you want to buy it, and they want to earn money on it. So why is it big business? Well, they 10x the money. You know, we in the West, we buy sheep beans from Africa and Colombia and so on, South America, and the labor is cheap. Then we put them on boats, sheep oil, and we bring it here. And here we process it, we refine it, and we make coffee, and we sell it to the customer. Boom, 1000%, 10x from the original cost of the bean. So this is why you drink coffee. So there is huge profit in this. And then you want to drink it directly. You want to go to a cafe or a restaurant, and then boom, 1000%, 10x again. Wow. So even one more layer, on profit. So yes, this is why these big companies want to deal with this and have all the struggle. So as long as we have low-paid farmers, we have sheep oil, and we have pesticide and fertilizers that are not so good, but we allowed it. So if we allowed to the use of poison, then we can have coffee. And yeah, you cannot do it ecologically because you are in the tropics, you are around the equator, it's hot, and yeah, it's a lot of bugs there. So, and if you want this huge big scale coffee production, there is no other way, not right now. And then we come to the big thing here. We can produce coffee and we can drink coffee up here because the companies earns the money. That means what happens if the countries who produce it start to say, well, wait a minute, we want to do like you do. We want to sell not the beans, we want to sell the coffee direct to the customer. Oh, then it's panicking. Then the West is panicking. Then they have to bribe a lot of politicians in that country. And it's happened all the time. So we have a situation today after Corona and so on and all other things that change things. Climate change and so on. And a lot of things were coming up to the surface with Corona. And we have not tomorrow, not yesterday, we have it right now, a situation where we have less and less farmers. So what happens when there is no farmers anymore? They don't want to work for this low salary. They can't even do it if it's in a recession. They don't want to die from all the pesticides. There are protests in these countries all the time, but nothing happens. And what happens when oil goes up in price? Yeah, the same thing. There will be some disruptions. And not only the oil, because if the production line or the transport chain gets less, then the insurance company wants more money because it's a little bit more dangerous and they cannot profit so much because there's not so big volumes. But also, United States are withdrawing their fleet from the world. So we are in a period where it's more insecurity, and then the insurance companies wants more money, so they have already 2-3x the price of insuring transports, and we see it on the cost of food. So now with the corona and the situation in China and so on, people felt that, well, it's not safe. We want to take home the production line of our important materials, food, medicine, and so on. We want to have it closer to home. We want to produce it ourselves, or we want to have it in different countries, but better to have it close. Have it in countries with friends. So shorter distribution and production line, closer to home. And the small farmers, the new farmers, they have already found out this. They have learned permaculture, holistic management, and so on. They knew a long time ago they cannot earn any money if they are working with the big companies. Then they are slaves and they are just running around in pesticides. So here we have something what we call farm to fork. What this means is that the farmer grow the wheat, for example, and then they have connection with a bakery, so they bake the bread and the customer buy the bread directly from the farm company. And the same with other things. You grow your vegetables and you go to a market and you sell it directly, like in old time. Or they have customers online and they buy it directly. So they take the 10x and then they can run the farm with a profit. And the big companies don't like this. They want to control the production line. They want to, separate the farmers from the customer. That's their goal. They want the 10x, It's important to them. So then we have this situation now in the world that we have two systems. We have the small farmers who establish a new way and selling their products directly to the customer. And then we have the traditional system with big companies, conventional agriculture, and who wants it in big scale, big production line. And the problem for these companies, the big companies, is that they work with the old farmers and they are dying, they're disappearing. And the new farmers, they don't really want to do it, but they are forced into it because, these companies work with politicians and change laws and regulate laws, so it's really hard. But governments and people in line with this, they try to do it, but they can't. these big companies are too powerful. And what is it that the politician sees? What is the economical situation now when we are heading for a recession? Well, it's like Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, everybody's happy and everybody want to join because they are there for profits. But now when Bitcoin is not so interesting, it's going down and nothing much happen, they just disappear. They run away. They don't want to be involved. And only these people who are interested in Bitcoin, the system, the ideology and the technology in it, they stay and continue to work. But now, when we are in a recession, then suddenly maybe there is no profit anymore. And then all these people working in the big business, they disappear. It's not interesting for them. They don't care about good food. They don't care about production of food and so on. They are there for the profit. So they disappear. So what happened there? Yeah, it can be a collapse because no one will be involved in things that go bankrupt or loses money. So then we only have the small farmers who work with it. The farmers cannot run away anywhere. This is what they do. And the problem for these small farmers, you would think that this is good for these small farmers if the big companies disappear because more people want to buy things from the small farmers. Yeah, but they collapse too because the regulation and you know, the pressure from these big companies. I hope they will survive and stay. This is my goal, that working and helping all these farmers who do their own thing, you know. So another thing is that these big farms, they need big volumes to make things profitable. And when the volume goes down, when things get more expensive, people buy less, and the volume goes down. Then it's not profitable anymore, and they take it away. They can't earn anything. So this is also some form of collapse. These big systems can't work in a small scale, but the small farms can. This is why, like many countries now, want to support these small farmers. But you know, the big companies are there all the time trying to, you know, attacking and nagging and stop it. So you see, we are in a period now that is not so secure anymore as it was before. And on this we put a layer of, you know, the greenhouse effect and everything that's happened. It gets even more scary because this big company system that we have doesn't really work because every year we destroy so much farmland with pesticides that it disappears. So this land gets less and less fertile. You need more and more input to get something out. So we have here a system that shrinking, even though we try to make it bigger, and it becomes more and more stupid and extreme. So we have to get rid of this. We have to more go back to a small scale where people are involving in farming. But we don't see that happen. We only see farmers disappear. So this is the situation. Not for tomorrow. We are in it right now. And that's for me and for many. We have to think, how should I do to support my support line of my food and my water and energy and so on. We also want to do have a short production line. I want it at home because I'm a permaculture. I want to do it myself. I have everything myself. And a lot of people think the same. So if you grow food with fertilizer and you buy all the stuff in the shop, then it's not so hard. It's very easy. But if you can't, then it's much tougher. Then you need education. Then you need to be involved in permaculture and regenerative agriculture and so on. And then here I am. That's why I'm here. This is what I do. And you just come here, follow my videos and so on. I will explain everything and you can be a part of this new world where we're doing more and we enjoy it and people are involved, not only machines. So that is my message today. Have a good cup of coffee. Sorry.